Everyone has an opinion on the NC500. Some say you can do it in 3 days. Others swear you need at least 2 weeks. So how many days is right? How do you know? Well, we have done the NC500, and here's the truth that nobody tells you. Hi everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Stu and I recently finished driving the North Coast 500 in our VW camper van, and when it comes to timing, there are things that we just hadn't considered. Today I'm breaking down the most common trip lengths, the hidden time traps that nobody talks about, and how to figure out the perfect NC500 timing for you. Firstly, let's talk about the 3 most common ways people do the NC500. The first way is 3 to 4 days. It's fast and it's intense, and you'll have to spend more time driving than actually exploring. Yes, it is possible, but you'll skip half the magic. It will feel like a race from one site to the next, even if you're on a motorbike. And for information, I do ride a motorbike. If you're trying to see a number of sites in one day and tick them off your list, you are just going to end up exhausted trying to do the NC500 in 3 to 4 days. You'll have no time to enjoy the sights, and certainly very little time to relax and chill. The second way is 5 to 7 days. And this is what many people aim for. On a 5 to 7 day itinerary, you'll be able to hit the main big tourist hotspots and maybe even take a few walks, and it will still feel like you're on a proper road trip. Not a race against the clock, but it's still very, very tight. The third way is 10 days or even more. This is the relaxed way. You'll have time for chilling on the beaches, visiting the castle ruins, and walks. Even the weather is unlikely to totally scupper your plans. If you've got the time, this is the ideal way to do the NC500. So moving on to what nobody actually tells you. Here's the part that they don't mention in the guidebooks and don't mention on the blogs. This is what we found out from our own experience. Firstly, Google Maps lies when it comes to much of the NC500 route. If it says a route takes 2 hours, in a lot of cases you'll have to double that, trust me. Many of the roads on the NC500 are narrow and winding and with blind bends. They are often single track with passing places and full of potholes. And you will get stuck behind an ancient motorhome struggling up the hills and forcing you to travel at their speed. I can tell you we did more than once. The other thing to take note of is that much of the scenery is absolutely breathtaking. There will be numerous photo stop opportunities that you will want to take advantage of, and this just eats into your time. Before you know it, half a day will have just flown by, and if you've booked your accommodation ahead, you'll potentially be well behind on your schedule. Secondly, the road is the experience. Don't just focus on racing ahead to the next destination. You'll miss out on so much. Some of the best moments that happened on the road for us were completely unplanned. There were sheep traffic jams, waterfalls just at the side of the road, and at least one spontaneous walk that we just went on. The scenery was so irresistible, we couldn't resist. Thirdly, the weather will most likely scupper your plans. This is Scotland after all, the land with the potential for 4 seasons worth of weather in one day. On our trip, we lost a full day to rain and part of 2 further days, and that was with a 10-day plan. We were able to rearrange some of our intended activities to accommodate the rain, but others we had to drop. A hike in horizontal rain with a gale blowing certainly would not have been pleasant, so that had to drop from our itinerary due to the weather. 10 days, though, meant that we did have some resilience built into the schedule. If you have no time buffer at all, you will have no flexibility. And let's face it, Scotland is at the north end of the country. We come from the south, so it's more or less maximum travel time within the UK for us to actually get there in the first place. We wanted to make sure we made the most of our time there. Fourthly, you will stop way more than you expect. Every 5 minutes you will want to pull over. There are some simply stunning views. Just make sure you have time to stop and enjoy them. You'll come across a beach you hadn't expected to find, a loch that is absolutely breathtakingly beautiful. You just have to stop and photograph it. And Scotland is very, very good. Next to these very scenic spots, there is always a place to pull over and park to enable you to take photographs or video. We came across waterfalls that we didn't even know existed. We just went past it on the road, so had to find somewhere ahead to pull in and go back and have a good look at it. There will be amazing panoramas, for example, crossing a causeway or a bridge, and you will want to stop and photograph them. And these aren't even the sites on your must-see list. These are just incidentals which you won't want to miss. I have to admit, this was the one aspect of our trip that we hadn't appreciated when doing our planning. This was our big mistake. As a result, our days were so much longer than we had anticipated. No mid-afternoon arrival at our accommodation, ready for a relaxed drink before dinner. Instead, we arrived early evening, or sometimes even later. And we gave ourselves 10 full days. That should have been perfect. Well, if we could do it again, we would give ourselves 12 days as a minimum, and probably even longer. There is just so much to see in Scotland, and certainly for sure we will be back, most definitely. So how do you pick the right timing for you? How many days do you need? Your requirements may not be the same as mine. You may not have the luxury of that amount of time off work. If you just want to see the route and snap a few pictures, 5 to 6 days might well be enough. But if you want to hike, explore or chill with a whiskey, you'll need to go for 10 to 12 days, or even longer if time permits. If you need to book accommodation or campsites ahead and want to avoid stress, my recommendation would be to build in extra buffer days. Plan to see less every day, but over a much longer period. This way you'll have chill time built into your schedule. The NC500 is not just a road, it is an experience. So make sure you give yourself enough time to actually enjoy it. Let me know in the comments, how many days would you take to do the NC500? And if you've already done it, what did you do? And what would you change? Make sure to like and subscribe and check out my other videos. The link's here on the screen. Thank you so much for watching.